My name is Hannah, and Joey and I have been together for about 4 years, I think.
Hi, I'm Joey Copel. Hannah and I have been together for about 4 years now, and we met at a party at one of our mutual friends' house.
I thought he was shy at first. He didn't really talk to me. I kind of had to make the first move.
Oh gosh, we came into this party and everybody was a couple drinks in, and I look over and here's this cute girl sitting over on the wall just by herself, not doing anything, and I came up and introduced myself, and right away we started talking about things, and we had so much in common. I think we talked about golf the first night.
We met playing spike ball with my friend Laura. She's our maid of honor, but we didn't really talk then, and so we met at the Iowa State game a couple months later, and we just really hit it off, and then we were kind of off and on. We'd text back and forth for a couple months, and finally I was like, can you just ask me out already? And then we went on a date like 2 days later.
Our first date was at an Irish place in Ames. Always forget the name of it.
We went to Dublin Bay in Ames for our first date, and we closed the place down. We were talking for hours, and finally we noticed that everybody left, so we had to leave too.
We clicked right away, and just whenever we would go out, we'd always be talking. We got along with each other's friends. We had so many mutual friends that we just kind of fit right into each other's groups. Oh gosh, we were probably after a party sometime, hanging out.
I just like how caring he is. He's there for me no matter what. I'm a person that wants to be left alone, but he just wants to fix things to make sure I'm good all the time, and especially with all the hardships we have been given the past couple of years, he's just been my rock through it all, and that's what has shown me, or it's proved to me, that he really truly loves me and wants our relationship so much.
That she can walk up to anybody and just start a conversation. I'm not necessarily the easiest to talk to. Sometimes I'm really quiet, and she always can get anyone talking. Sometimes to where she just wants to walk away from the conversation, but she's just got such a bubbly personality that she can get anyone going and anyone talking.
I really like his eyes. They change colors actually. They're blue, green. They're really pretty, and he has better eyelashes than me, so.
Oh gosh, we have ridiculous fights all the time.
We were on our honeymoon. We were laying on the beach in the Virgin Islands for our honeymoon, and I looked at Joey and I'm like, do you still like me? And he looked at me and he was like, Hannah, we're on our honeymoon in the Virgin Islands, of course I still like you. And it's always me asking if he still likes me, and of course he still likes me, so. He did, and then I ended up running away from him that night, and then when I told him I loved him back, he threw up.
I did, and it was after kind of a long night, and she actually got a little spooked by it and went off with a bunch of her friends, and I guess I thought I blew it, but sure enough, a month later, we were hanging out. She came back to our apartment and was hanging out with our friends, and she said, I love you back. I mean, we just have so much in common.
I knew he was the one a couple months in, just with how much he cared for me, but I really knew he was the one the day my dad died, because he just had been there for me ever since that day. He just has been my rock through it all, and I just don't know what I would do without him.
I was coming up for Max's graduation, and maybe a dance recital. No, the dance recital was the weekend before. And then flew in, and I asked her dad in the airport on the way up. And he was so excited. He was grateful that I was going to be part of the family, and he wanted to know whatever he could do to help me throw it off.
Our proposal was it was the day of his birthday, May 16th. I believe it was 2019. And I picked him up at the airport for Max's graduation. I was already there. And he said he wanted to go and take a picture in front of our first date spot, because we like taking pictures and just for memories. We have scrapbooks and everything. And so I kind of had an idea of once he said that. And then it's actually really funny. He made this book for me, and he forgot it in North Carolina. So he had to show me on his phone the Walgreens app. And he also propped up my phone so he could get a recording, but he never pressed play. So it was just such a Hannah Joey thing that we just laughed about it. And we did take a picture, and his knee was soaking wet because it was raining, and I could have asked for a more perfect moment because it was just the two of us. Nobody really knew that we were out doing that, and then we got to FaceTime everybody, and it was just so much more fun that way than having a group of people there. I appreciate that we're able to talk things through. I mean, at first it's a little difficult, but once you're on each other's team, it just helps so much. And I think during COVID, spending time together, especially like working from home, like you kind of have to learn how to communicate better. And COVID has taught us so much about each other and about ourselves that I think it's really helped our relationship and how we talk to each other. And if something's wrong, we'll talk to each other about that.
I appreciate that. One, we can have good times together, but that we're both pretty self-reliant.
A baby Giddis shot, because I don't know why, because we took one together and I really hated it and he really liked it, and we just laugh about it all the time, so it's something funny to look back on.
A green tea shot, because it's sweet, but it still has a little bite to it.
That I'm just really thankful for our relationship, and he's just really helped me grow into the person I am today. We've grown together, and I would tell him that I loved him so much. He's my best friend and my rock, and we have such a good life together. We have our dogs, we have our cats, and our families are just so great. I literally lucked out with the best, and I don't tell him I appreciate him that much, and I wish I did, but I think he knows that I do.
I would just tell her how much I love her and how much I appreciate that she decided that this goofy engineer who could talk on and on about random cell things, but doesn't have a lick of common sense. Just how appreciative I am that she thought that I was the one, and that I could be a part of her great family. Her family's just been so accepting of me and so loving, and I'm just so glad that she's part of my family and I'm a part of hers.